Hi everyone, it's Michelle. Welcome back. I was tagged by the beautiful Sani from missmai27 to do my Ultimate MAC 15 pan palette, which I think is a fabulous tag. I really enjoy MAC shadows, and I've been using a lot of MAC shadows lately. Mostly I've been going to my MAC palettes, really for most of the last couple of months. So I thought it was a great tag to do. I will say I do not keep my MAC shadows in an actual MAC palette. I keep them in the largest Z palette, which holds like 35 of them. So I pulled out my 15 that I would put in a palette if I was building my Ultimate 15 pan palette. And I will say most of mine are very neutral, so maybe not the most interesting, but I love these shadows and I use them constantly. So let's jump in and get started. First, my favorite brow bone highlight and sort of all over the lid color, if I'm looking for just a soft matte cream color, is Blanc type, which is just a soft cream color. I think it's a matte. It looks matte to me. It's just a really soft, pretty cream color. I like it a little bit better than Brulee. I think it gives me just a little bit more color. This really is my go-to. You can see there's quite a dip in it. This is my go-to brow bone and blend out color every day. If I'm looking for something that's just a little bit, has a little more of a sheen to it, then I will reach for Orb, which again is just a soft cream color. But this one is a little, it's a little deeper, not that it's deep, but it's a little deeper cream than the Blanc type is, and I love it. And it looks fairly matte to me. Mine don't have the finishes on them, but I really like that one as well. And then if for like an inner corner highlight, or if I want a bunch, not a bunch, but if I want some shimmer or sheen on my lid, or on my brow bone, I will use the color Shroom. This is another one of my favorites. But this just has a little bit more of a sheen to it, as you can see. So these are my three sort of favorite brow bone or all over the lid cream colors. These are both kind of matte, and then this has a lot more shimmer. Shroom is a beautiful inner quarter highlight because it's not too white, but it gives you a good sheen to the inner corner, if that's what you're looking for. Then I thought I'd talk about sort of my transition colors, my favorite transition colors from MAC. And there's three of them. The first one is, and this is probably most people's, or a lot of people use this, and it's Wedge. It's just a cool toned, soft tan color. I don't know how much you're actually going to see. I use this a lot. There it is. It's just a soft tan color, but cooler toned. Maybe neutral. Maybe I wouldn't say cool. Maybe I'd say neutral. It's fairly neutral color. Sorry about the lighting. It's cloudy out today. If I'm looking for a warmer transition, then I will reach for soft brown. This is what I have on today, soft brown. And see, it's just a little bit warmer and has a little bit more color than Wedge does. And then if I'm looking for something really cool or more gray or purple toned, I will reach for Quarry, which is another really pretty color. These are all mattes, I think, or matte squareds or whatever. And see, that's just a little more purple or gray toned. So these are the three colors I reach for most of the time for transition. There are a couple others, but I had to limit myself to 15, so these were the three I picked. Again, I really like them. I also have another color that's I use a lot in my crease and as sort of a blend out color, which is very different. And I've talked about this color a few times, and it's the color Sushi Flower. It's just a peachy pink color, but it's really pretty in the crease or as a soft blend out. It's just something different, but it's really pretty, and it's a matte as well. You can see it's really just a pretty color, and it's just different enough that, you know, people look at it and it's like, oh, that's really pretty. But see, it's not like stark I know with the lighting you probably can't see that. That's blended a little bit. So I really like that, and I wear it actually quite a bit with tans and that kind of thing. It just adds a little something to a springtime eye or a summertime eye. I really like it. I also like having a pink toned lid color or inner half of the lid color to use sometimes when I'm doing deep brown looks, or sometimes if I'm going to do a purple look. And my favorite one from MAC, and I would definitely want to have this in my palette, is the color De Bling, which again is just a soft shimmering pink color. And this is really pretty. A lot of more mature women are afraid of pink, and this shadow blends beautifully. It has beautiful texture. It's really pretty, and don't be afraid of these kinds of colors. Just make sure, it's right here, just make sure to blend it really well and buff it into the lid so that it's just sort of this soft pink sheen. It doesn't have to be, you know, sort of 70s, 80s pink on your lid. I like this a lot. It's a really pretty inner corner highlight too if you're looking for something pink there. Or just to pop it in the middle of your lid for a little color or brightness when you're doing a look. It's really pretty. I would definitely want to have that in my palette. Okay, now let's go into some more brown colors that are, these are colors I would wear mostly on my lid or the inner half of my lid, that kind of thing. The first one, this is one of my favorites, and it's the color Jest. It's like a peachy tan, maybe slightly pink, but more peachy tan. It has a lot of sheen to it. You don't get any fallout. Again, this is very creamy. I'm not sure what the finish is of these. I'm sorry. I'll swatch this one too so you can see it because it's a favorite. See, it's just a beautiful peachy tan color. Great all over the lid, great on the inner half of the lid. It's really, really beautiful. This is a great shadow to put on with just some liner, and off you go, and you just look kind of finished. It's really pretty. Let's see, which one do I want to go to first? We'll go to this one first. Another one, so if I had my choice, I would pick the pigment in tan because I love that. But I'm trying to stick to the rules, and yes, I could press it and have one, but this shadow is very close to the pigment tan. Not quite as much dimension or as much color, but it works very well. This is what I have all over my lid today, and it's the color All That Glitters. And it's just a beautiful golden tan color. It's really pretty. Again, I would choose to have the pigment tan, but this is really beautiful. And if you don't like messing around with pigments because they're messy, this is a good option for you. Again, it's All That Glitters. Love it. I'll swatch this for you because, again, it's really beautiful. So there it is right there. See how beautiful it is? It's like a golden tan. It's really pretty. And again, that's what I have all over my lid today. And it's really pretty. And like I said, if you buff it in, even on my crepey lids, looks beautiful all day. Doesn't go anywhere. I did throw a wild card in here, and I will tell you that I use this shadow all of the time. This is the third one I've purchased. That's how much I use it. And if you're a blue-eyed girl, I think this is a beautiful shadow for you, and it is the shadow in Mythology, which is just sort of a peachy tan color. Don't be afraid of it. It's not as creamy as the other ones, but it's beautiful. And I don't get fallout from this either. It's kind of like a coppery, peachy tan. This is beautiful all over the lid. Throw some liner on. If you're going to put something in the crease, maybe blend in the crease with saddle or something. It's really beautiful. Let's swatch that here. Yeah. See, here it is. It's beautiful. This has a little bit more color, so if you're afraid of color, that might not be the best one. But on a blue eye, it's beautiful. And it doesn't have so much red in it that it makes you look ill or anything. It's just beautiful. I should have worn that today because it's so pretty. And again, this is the third one of this that I've purchased. That's how quickly I go through them because I love it. Okay, now let's get into a little bit of the deeper tones that I love from MAC. The first one is a standby, and I think everybody should own this, and it's the color Sable. It's just a soft brown color, maybe with a little bit of red in it, but it's a really pretty color, really soft. You could do so much with this color. Again, it's a great all over the lid color, just, you know, to have a little more dimension on your lid. You can use it in the outer half. You could, you know, do a smoky eye with it, soft smoky eye. It's beautiful. I think everybody should own it. I'll swatch this one too. It's right there. So there's Mythology and there's Sable. So a lot more color. So you could definitely do smoky eye with this one. You could do a soft smoky with Mythology if you wanted. But again, Sable I think is one of those must-owns. The other one that I love and I use quite a bit, more in the fall than I do in the spring and summer, but fall, winter, it's a really pretty color. And it's the color Cranberry, which is just sort of a deep burgundy color, a little bit of brown in it. Here, I'll swatch it on this finger. So there's Cranberry. It's a really beautiful color. Beautiful, beautiful color. I'm going to swatch left-handed now, which isn't good. So there it is. It's really pretty. And yes, it looks very red, but when you put it on your eye and build it up, it's a beautiful, beautiful burgundy color, and it's just stunning. Again, one of those colors that you'll use more in the fall and winter, but really pretty, and I would want to have it in my palette. Another dark color that I would want to have in my palette from MAC. I don't have a black from MAC because I'm not overly impressed by MAC's black shadows. And I don't use a black shadow that often, to be perfectly honest. But a dark blue shadow that I love from MAC is Contrast. And it's just a super deep blue. I use this a lot just in the outer V or to line my eyes. Wet it and line my eyes with it. Super deep navy blue. A little bit of sheen to it, not a ton, and I will tell you, when you put it on your eye, you don't get much of the sheen. It looks just like a true dark navy on your eye. It's really pretty. So I swatched that on the wrong hand. Let's see if I can find a place to put it. Yeah, we'll squeeze it in there. So there it is right there. It's not a very good swatch. It is on the drier side for MAC shadows, but it is beautiful. And it actually goes on and blends pretty well and stays nicely. So it does take, you know, you need a stiff brush with it, but it is a beautiful, beautiful color. And I like it much better than the black options with MAC. And my favorite dark brown matte from MAC, there's many that I own, but this is probably my favorite, and it's the color Handwritten, and this is just a matte deep brown. I have this in my outer corner today and in my on my lash line, and it's just beautiful. I use this all the time. I've probably bought 3 or 4 of these. It's just a deep brown, maybe a hint of burgundy in there. It's not really red. It's just a really dark brown. It's beautiful. And I really love this one too. Let's see. There you go. It's got really good pigment. See how dark it is? So you don't really need a black. I try to avoid black just because it's so harsh. And I find that if you use a blue or a dark brown, it's just a little bit softer, but you still get the definition that you would from a black. So this is a great color on its own, or to deepen up any other color. Like if you put on Cranberry and it was maybe just a little too red or not deep enough, you could go in with a little bit of this on top of it and it would just deepen it a little bit, but you'd still keep that cranberry color. So that's another reason I love this. But I use this all the time for lining my eyes, darkening up anything I have in the outer V, or just putting it on the outer corner of my eye for a little more dimension. It's my favorite brown from MAC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's 15. So that would be my ultimate 15 pan palette from MAC. If I were choosing these shadows that come in the Pro Pan format. If I wasn't, I would choose some of the extra dimension shadows and that kind of thing. Maybe I'll do a video on my favorite MAC Extra Dimension shadows, because I think those shadows are some of the best shadows that MAC makes, and if you haven't tried them, I highly recommend them as well. But those would be my choices if I had only 15 in a palette from MAC. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you again, Sandy, for tagging me. And if you weren't tagged to do this and you're a MAC fan, I tag you to do this video. I think it's a great video. It's a great way for everyone to see what shadows other people find that they go to all the time or that they'd have to have, because it gives us ideas, or it makes us think about, hey, should I try that shadow? And MAC makes so many shadows, it's hard to own all of them, and it's hard to remember all of them. So I think it's a great tag. So that's it for today. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will talk to you all again soon.